tell me about these chairs. This is what I remember seeing you. A big image of you when I think of you is swinging on these single hanging chairs.
Yes. Well, we went to Chappaquiddick with Leslie, and we stayed. I don't know if it was a week or 2 weeks. It was.
I think it was 2 weeks, Mom.
2 weeks. It was a nice long time. And Clara and I.
Don't worry.
And
it was heavenly, Mom. You were right there. I could bring you
it
coffee
was-
in the
oh,
morning.
It
It was
lovely.
great.
And it was kind of a slimmed down, regular beach cottage, but right next to the ocean, and had a fence in front of it, and a deck bench, so that you could go out and sit on it. And it just seemed just perfect because it was next to the water.
The ocean in front, the
Ocean right in
lighthouse
front.
right across.
Yeah,
And you
and
could see the Chappie Ferry to your left,
you
right?
could see the ferry go out,
And
not Peter Pan. What was it? The
the Pied Piper.
Pied Piper. That's close.
There you go.
That's close. Well, anyway, when we went into the house for the first time, it all looked just the way it should be, but there was something strange. It was one of these swinging ropey
Can
chairs.
you hold that up so I can see it, Tay? It's just like, yeah,
Just like, where is it?
right there.
Right there. Dave's in one and I'm in one. And this was a little later on, but I tried the swing, and I sort of did. And I said, Clary, I don't know why this is right in the middle of the living room. And my first thought was, well, we should take it down.
Yeah, how do we take this down? But it was a big high ceiling. Remember, it was a cathedral ceiling in that room, and so the connection for the swing was way up high.
Yeah. And anyway, he said, well,
Dad's
why
thinking
don't
about
why don't you
scaling
just try it and see, might be some reason why it's there. I said, no, I'll try it, but it seems kind of odd to me to have it there. So I did. And I found it was the most heavenly thing ever. I could sit there and I could read, but it's high enough so I could look out over the railing and the shrubs in the front and see the water. Otherwise, you couldn't see the water when you sat down in a chair. And I can remember one of the things, I read the whole book, John Adams, when I was there. It's a thick hardback book like that.
The David McCullough book.
Yeah,
Yes, wonderful book.
that was a wonderful book. And I read that whole book with my time sitting in the chair. And I could rock back and forth. And when we were leaving, I said to Leslie, we really should have some chairs like that at Northwood Lake. It would be so nice to have those chairs there. And you said, well, where could we put them? I said, well, why couldn't we put them on the porch? They'd be wonderful on the porch. So Clarence says, that's okay, I like that idea. Why don't we get a couple and we'll take them up and put them on the front porch. And then she
Of Johnny's house, yeah.
yeah, what did Johnny do?
Oh, the front porch of Johnny's house.
Johnny's
yeah.
house, yeah, Johnny's house. So, you bought the swings, didn't you?
I think I gave them to Dad and you on Dad's birthday on the 3rd of July.
Okay.
Something like
she
that.
She brought them up and gave them to Dad for his birthday.
And 2 of them, so you wouldn't have to argue over them, because the part of the story you didn't tell is that not only did Ellen think that they were quite nice, but then Dad tried that swing out. And he thought that was great. Just the motion of it was lovely. And because it swiveled, you could either look at the water, or you could go back and look and speak with the people in the room. And so it became whoever got into the house first got that lovely swinging chair in the living room. Mm-hmm. And so they were always kind of, hustling over to see who could get there first, get in the chair. It became the prized seat in the house.
Yeah.
In the little Chappie rental.
Mm.
So that's neat. When you sit in those chairs on the deck or the porch at Northwood Lake.
Northwood Lake, you think about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can swing in either direction, or 180 degrees around. Anyway.
I had one on our deck too, up at our house, and I ate breakfast every single morning in that chair. You could actually bring your legs up, sit in the chair like this with a bowl of, or whatever you had. I usually had a bowl of cereal and fruit, and just looking out at the water and the same view that Ellen had in her house just below mine. I'm looking at the lighthouse and the beach, and I couldn't see the Chappie Ferry from my deck, from my chair, but Ellen could. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So that's what those chairs are all about. They have a history to them.
Yeah, they're very nice. We enjoyed them so much. And we now when I have gone to Northwood Lake at Johnny's cottage, I'm very happy to have one of the chairs.
Yep.
And there's usually somebody else in the other one, and you can have nice conversations and it's a
Swing
great-
in
it's a
time
great-
and-
it's a great place for a conversation.
Yes.
So,
Swing back
and guess who got to put them up?
And I wonder who was it that
Dave,
put
did
them
you
up?
put those up?
Probably.
You had to get up into those, high spots.
Yeah. Well,
Well, good. We want to put a few more hooks up, actually, Dave, so we could switch them around a little.
Yeah,
That'll be next summer.
it was quite a trial and error kind of thing to figure out just where to hook those on the ceiling. So they did go up a couple of 3 times before we got them to.
I mean, you didn't want them to put them up so that someone came crashing down in them either.
Well, and did bang into each other and too close to the wall or too close to
They were
the
high
railing.
enough and all those good things.
We did all those things.
But
Yeah.
they-
Yeah, we were talking about maybe having them a little closer to the railing, so you could actually put your feet on the railing.
Hmm.
I think
As
the
an
railing-
option.
I think the
There's
railing's
a-
a little too high. That's how.
The barbecue is right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have
So
to move the barbecue.
redesign that. But I'd love those big family dinners on the deck of Johnny's cottage. Either a big lobster feast or corn on the cob or whatever, sitting around that old table
Yeah.
with those 100-year-old chairs around there that
Used to see Eleanor and her gang,
Right.
from our dinner table in Kanjokity. You could look up and see them up there sitting in
was
that same old table.
it was always quite a faraway place too. Eleanor was sort
seemed-
of a little mysterious.
Oh, I always wanted to be up there and see what was going on.
Yeah.
Well, Eleanor was an interesting woman in that she was very kind and outreach and loving. But there's also a very fine line between being that way and taking over the responsibility and kind of taking the impetus away from other people.
Well, so she had a problem walking that fine line, or we all did?
Well, I think
We're like, okay, Eleanor.
I think everyone
Come here.
else had, and I'm sure that she tried too. She tried very hard, and then she started getting Alzheimer's.
Oh, she did?
Oh yeah, and then part of Alzheimer's. I've known 3 different people now who've had it. They get very suspicious, and they get suspicious of their
Oh.
family members, and that their family members took their jewelry.
Oh.
And she accused Carol of taking her diamond or her this or her that,
Oh.
and that was very painful. And then Carol would find it rolled up in a paper napkin behind the telephone or some strange place where she put it.
Oh, that's too bad.
Now,
Yeah, that's okay, Taylor.
Well, my memory of Eleanor is that she did teach me to swim. I think she did.
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't. I mean,
well,
did she actually go in the water and hold me up and teach me to swim?
probably because that first summer that we went up there was Steve's 4th birthday.
Okay, so I was
you had
5.
you just turned 5, and we'd been away on our long trip. We went on a 3 weeks trip with a family up into northern Maine, and we stayed at Aunt Fanny's camp.
And we always giggled when you said her name.
They always thought that was very funny, Aunt Fanny's
What?
camp.
Yeah.
Well, her name was Fanny. That was a popular name in those days. And see, she had 3. They had 3 children, and she was very nice.
That's amazing. So we had a place at Northwood Lake, and we took a 3-week trip away from there.
Well, that was before we
Oh,
went
we
to
didn't own
Northwood
it.
Lake.
That's right. That's right.
See, we went to Northwood Lake when Steve turned 4. And can you imagine, the year before, we took Stevie at 3, you at 4, Janet at 5.5, David at
Oh my goodness.
7 or 8. Oh, he was 8, and Dave at 9.5. So 3.5 to 9.5, or even 10. And we hauled a Higgins trailer You know, the ones that the tent flaps go out at the top, it becomes a tent. And we discovered some things about it that weren't very good. In fact, we were very glad we hadn't bought it, because we found that with the dew that fell on it in the nighttime, the canvas was all wet in the morning. So you couldn't pack up and leave right away, because if you did, all your bedding and mattresses and everything inside were wet.
Well, it did slow us down then.
What did we do with our tent trailer, Dad?
Well, I don't remember the water dew kind of problem, but
You had a tent trailer.
we did. We
Well,
did.
but maybe the canvas had some coating on it that didn't
It was
allow
water.
it to
Maybe it was
absorb.
nylon.
It was pretty.
Water treated.
It was waterproof.
This is high tech.
So, what about the trip we did to Boothbay Harbor? And all I can remember is trying to go in the ocean water. Must have been 40 degrees. Or
Well,
40.
we went way, way up in Moosehead Life. Moosehorn Life, something or
I
other.
think Moosehead
There
sounds
was
right.
a horn in it too.
Hmm.
Well, anyway, it was so cold that if you've ever taken ice cubes out and defrosted your refrigerator, and you had to deal with your ice cubes, what was that?
No way.
What?
It's just a scrape from my bike accident.
Oh my goodness! Oh, you got a bad scrape there. Oh.
Don't worry.
I know.
So the ice cubes, would they stick to your fingers when
It
you
was
pick
so
them up?
cold that you put your hands in it and you'd feel the cold go up your arms. At first it would ache here and it would ache here. It was so cold. Well, that's the way it was when we went.
Yeah.
I went in about to my ankles. Some of the kids went in and ducked up to their neck. It was so cold. It was way, way up.
This was summer. We were supposed to be able to go swimming in that lake.
Yeah. Oh no, Aunt Fanny's lake was quite warm.
Oh.
This was the Moosehead.
Moosehorn Lake.
Life. Moosehorn Lake Reservation. Maybe that was it.
Hmm.
Something like that. No, where Aunt Fanny's camp was, the water was only about 3 or 4 feet deep. Went out way shallow. So that Janet said she learned to swim there because she wasn't afraid, because she could always put her feet down. But then Northwood Lake was pretty nice for kids learning to swim too, because we said they could go out as far as their chin, but to always swim in towards the lake, towards the beach.
And hopefully there wasn't that one spot where just about here it dropped off 2 feet.
Yeah.
Oh. That was a great lake for swimming, for learning to swim.
That was a great purchase, and certainly we went out on a limb to buy it financially. But I just felt it was in the cards that we should do it, and we did.
I thought we went out on a peninsula to buy it.
We did. We did.
It was a very